Good morning, students. This video is for grade 6th, subject science, block 27, replenishing water. We are continuing with LP 3 and 4, clouds and rain, and drought and flood. So let's start. The aim of this lesson is to describe how clouds are formed and their significance in bringing rain, and to analyze the effects of flood and drought. The keywords are cloud, drought, and flood. The resources required are 2-liter plastic bottle, very warm water, matchbox, S3 of volume book, science notebook, and Exceed content book. Students, we can easily predict the rain if it is cloudy, as we all know that clouds are necessary to bring rain. But do all kinds of clouds bring rain? Do we know how clouds are formed? So students, just think and try to answer these questions. Let's see. Today we will learn how clouds are formed, the different kinds of clouds, and how they bring the rain. Students, draw this table in your notebook and fill 1/3 of a bottle with very warm water and place a cap on tightly. Observe what happens inside the bottle. Take the observations and try to write them in this table. Then squeeze the bottle and release. Again observe what happens. Next, open the bottle, light a match stick and bring it close to the mouth of the bottle so that smoke enters the bottle. Now close the bottle with the cap. Finally, squeeze the bottle 3-4 times and release. Note what happens in your notebook. For performing this activity, you can pause the video, and after taking all the observations, which you will mention in the column of this table where reaction is written, then again resume the video. Now you will be able to discuss these questions. What happened when you poured warm water in the bottle? What happened when you first squeezed the bottle? And what happened when you added the smoke into the bottle? So let's see, students. When we added warm water in the bottle and closed it, water vapor began forming by evaporation. When we squeezed the bottle, nothing seemed to happen. When we added smoke into the bottle, we saw that the bottle was filled with the smoke. Now, what happened when you squeezed the bottle again? What conditions are necessary for the formation of rain? So finally, on squeezing the bottle several times, we saw that a cloud had formed, and in some cases it looked like fog. Conditions such as evaporation, pressure and smoke or dust particles are necessary for the formation of clouds. So students, you can see the complete process of water cycle or the formation of clouds. Whatever water is collected in the water bodies, it is evaporated with the help of sunlight or the heat of the sun, or either it may transfer in the form of water vapor by the process of transpiration also. When this water vapor reach into the sky where cold conditions are there, so it get condensed. After condensation, it will turn into clouds, and the water droplets present in the clouds will again come on the surface of earth in the form of precipitation or rain. Now, how are clouds formed in nature? So water vapors condense into the form of small clouds. When water droplets attached to smoke or dust particles under high pressure, this creates a cloud. What are the different kinds of clouds? So there are 4 kinds of clouds. Cumulus, which is big, white and fluffy like a cotton ball but does not bring rain. Second one is stratus. This type of clouds look like a huge grey blanket that hang low and bring rain. Cirrus clouds are formed very high in the sky They are white and feathery looking and made of ice crystals. They do not bring rain. Nimbus clouds are grey clouds and bring thunder, lightning and rain. So students, we discussed there are four types of clouds. The names are stratus, cumulus, cirrus and nimbus. And out of these four clouds, some are bringing rain and some are not bringing the rains. So just keep these names in your mind with the features. Now, why are clouds important for rain? So clouds are the reason we get rain. All the water that is evaporated and transpired finally condenses in the form of clouds and under the right conditions fall down as rain or snow. Now, how does rain replenish fresh water on the earth? So definitely there is a replenishment of water with the rain. Water is present everywhere on the earth in one of the three forms. A lot of water is present under the ground, in the oceans and other water sources. Most of this water becomes polluted over time. Through evaporation and transpiration, water becomes cleaner and it is this fresh clean water that falls back down on the earth in the form of rain. Through rain, fresh water is replenished in the rivers, lakes, springs and underground. Now students, after discussing about the type of clouds, whether they are bringing rain or not, we will switch to the next topic, that is drought and flood. So what is drought? What causes a drought? Where does a drought usually occur? So let's see the answers. Drought is a condition that happens when there is not enough rain for a long period of time. When there is so little moisture in the air that hardly any condensation can take place. It results in a dry situation. As a result, the whole region starts to dry out. Most droughts happen in hot and dry areas and take many years to form. So in short, we can say that drought is a condition with very little or no rainfall. How do droughts affect people, plants and animals? So when there is not enough water, crops cannot grow, which means there is not enough food. It also means that farmers lose money and the people of an area can become very poor. Droughts can be very dangerous for people as there is no enough food for water. As a result, several health problems and death occur. Animals can starve and plants can die. Now what is flood? What causes of flood? Where do floods usually occur? So students, flood is a just opposite condition as that of drought. In the floods, water bodies become full of water and extra water starts getting collected on land. Sometimes due to heavy rain, a river may get more water than it can carry, which then spills on the land. Flood can also occur if water falls on a concrete piece of land where the water cannot be absorbed by the ground or there is bad drainage system. Sometimes an area may receive very heavy rainfall which can cause flash flooding in that area. So there are so many reasons for flood conditions. Now how do flood affect people, plants and animals? So floods can damage homes, roads, sewage, bridges, power supply and other buildings. Loss of life is another consequence. This can lead to loss of drinking water or water contamination which can cause many diseases like typhoid and cholera. Damage to roads can make traveling and moving difficult. Flood damage the crops, make farming difficult which can lead to the food shortage. Many trees get uprooted and this in turn affects transpiration and rainfall. And animals can lose their habitat. So students, we can see that there are a lot of consequences with the situation like floods as well as droughts. Now, how do droughts and floods affect the environment? So along with the people, animal, these two conditions affect the environment also. When a drought or flood hits an area, the entire water cycle gets affected. In case of drought, the trees die and there is almost no water on the ground. in the rivers, and thus hardly any evaporation or transpiration can take place. This affects the water cycle, and as a result there is no rain. It takes several years for droughts to finish. Similarly, during a flood, trees get uprooted and fall, which reduces the rate of transpiration and rainfall. Many animals lose their homes, water becomes polluted, and many diseases spread. So, students, what we learned today? First, we saw the types of clouds and the cloud formation, how it is helpful for bringing the rain on the surface of earth. And secondly, we discussed about two conditions. One is drought and one is flood. Now it's a quiz time. Try to answer these questions and share with me. What do rain bearing clouds look like? What do clouds contain? List 5 effects of flood and list the causes of drought. Now students, the picture of S3 of volume book is attached here. So just discuss them and try to write their answers. List the conditions necessary for the formation of clouds. So we already saw that for the formation of clouds, evaporation, pressure, dust particles or smoke is required. When all this condense together, they will form clouds. Question number 2, part A. Name the different types of clouds and with whether they are rain bearing or not. So you can see one table in this question. In the first column, cloud description is given, means the features of the clouds are given, and you have to identify the names of the cloud and whether they will bring rain or not. You have to mention it. So the first clue is big grey blanket like which is hanging low to the ground. So students, the feature indicates that this cloud must be stratus and it is a rain bearing cloud. Now the second feature is white and fluffy, just like a cotton ball. So such clouds are called cumulus, but they do not bring rain. Third situation is white and feathery, high in the sky. So such clouds are called cirrus clouds, which are generally made up of ice crystals. They do not bring rain. And the fourth feature is grey clouds. These are of course nimbus clouds and they bring thunder with rain. So I hope you will be able to complete this table by this discussion. Explain how clouds are formed. So students, already we discussed that whatever water sources are there, due to the heat of the sun, evaporation process occur. After evaporation, when this water vapor goes up in the sky, they get condensed. When they mix with the dust particles or the smoke present in the atmosphere, they form clouds, and these clouds are having so many water droplets along with it, and under appropriate conditions they will fall down in the form of rain or precipitation. Rain, now the third question, rain is the source of fresh water on earth. Explain the sentence. So students, we already saw that due to so many industrial progress or due to so many anthropological activities, so many human activities are there due to which the water is getting polluted nowadays. But when due to the heat of sun, water get evaporated, so only water vapors are formed. No pollutants are going along with the water vapor in the sky. Therefore, whatever water vapor is going in the sky, it get condensed there and it will form cloud, and that will be the cleaner source of water. So when the clouds will again come back to the earth's surface in the form of rain, so that water is a very pure and clean water. That's why we are saying that rain is a very good source of fresh water on the earth's surface. So now students, you will be able to write the answers of these volume book questions. So finish your S3 of volume book and complete your practice questions from your content book. Thank you, students. Have a great day.